What's going on, guys? DLegend here. Today we have a Halloween special where we're going to be showcasing all of the ghost rares in my PSA graded card collection and just in general. I don't think I actually have a single ghost rare that isn't graded, just because I think they're such a beautiful rarity and super unique that doesn't really exist in any other trading card game. But yeah, we're going to go through all of the ghost rares in my collection in just a second here. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, let's get into this, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are interested in content like this, if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment letting me know your favorite ghost rare in general in Yu-Gi-Oh, but also your favorite ghost rare in my collection. So we're gonna go in reverse chronological order. So we're gonna go with the newest cards first, in order of release. So first and foremost, we have this Blue Eyes White Dragon from Ghost from the Past 2. The second Haunting. The first Ghost from the Past set was a huge success because it brought back ghost rares into a side set, like a special set. And although the ghost rare foiling is not nearly as good as the original ghost rare foiling from some of the older sets, still a pretty cool card. This is the STK artwork, of course, for Blue Eyes, and the first of its kind for the TCG. So this is a PSA 9. I pulled this myself with another copy of this card, and I think it's a fair 9. I mean, it's not perfect by any means. There's definitely waxing on the back of the card, but pretty cool card to own. And I did sell the other copy, or I traded it away. But yeah, this is the first card in my graded ghost rare collection. Next up, we have another modern ghost rare. So this is Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon. I really like this one compared to the Blue Eyes. I pulled this one out of literally my first pack of the set that I opened, which is absolutely nuts. If you think about it, you're usually getting a ghost rare one every 288 packs, but for this specific set, they are 36 pack boxes, and you're basically getting one ghost rare per case anyways. So you guys do the math, it's like an extra 50% worth of packs that you have to open to actually pull this thing, or I guess 33%, because they are 36 pack boxes instead of 24. But I really like this card as well, and again, just holds a lot of memories for me because I pulled it and graded it a PSA 10 for myself, which is absolutely insane. A lot of these cards I graded myself, but some of them I did pick up already graded, and I will kind of make that distinction for you guys as we go along. So this is an awesome card. I really like this one. Next up, we have a Japanese holographic rare. So it's kind of ghost rare adjacent. This is like their new version of ghost rares, essentially. And it's called holographic rare. I really like this as well. It's a really cool rarity. And I was in Japan and I picked up like 3 copies of Clearwing Synchro Dragon in holographic rare from their version of Synchro Storm, essentially. It's called Duelists WW. I don't know what that stands for. Whirlwind or something like that. Winds of something. But anyways, this is like the new version Ghost Rare, the new variant of Ghost Rare. And I'm not sure if they're going to bring this kind of holographic rare to the TCG anytime soon, but I really do like it. I think it's really unique, and it's not quite the same as Ghost Rares, but I do like the way it kind of pops the card and the monster out of the card. Graded that myself as well, got a PSA 9, of course. Next up, we actually have a non-PSA graded card. We actually have a Koba graded card. This is a 9.5, and it is Cyber's Clock Dragon. And this is a cover card, of course, for Soul Fusion. And I really like this card because Soul Fusion was the first set that was released when I kind of got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! I remember watching Team Samurai X1's videos where he tries to pull Thunder Dragon Colossus and all the other Thunder Dragon and Danger cards from that set. And I think this card just pays some tribute to my journey as a collector, I guess. Because obviously the TCG has the ultra rare version of this cover card, but I do own that, but I've never graded it. So this is the closest thing that I have to the English version of that card, although it's obviously not English. But I do like this. This is an original like ghost rare and not the holographic rare. and it is a Japanese OCG card. Sorry guys, I'm trying not to take too much time with each card, but I just want to showcase them and show you guys them. By the way, Koba is a really cool grading service. They are a company based out of the city that I'm in, actually. So up here in Canada, if you guys are interested in grading through them, definitely check out their website and tell them that DLegend sent you, because yeah, they're pretty cool, and I really like the owner. He's a nice guy. So yeah, moving on though, we have our next Ghost Rare. This is the last Ghost Rare that was printed into core sets. Of course, Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend from Dimension of Chaos. This was printed in 2015, and obviously it is a Jack Atlas card, but a retrain of Red Dragon Archfiend. This one looks so much better already because it is an original Ghost Rare. You can tell that that hand is already kind of trying to grab, that claw is trying to grab at you, kind of like the Red Dragon Archfiend Assault Mode Ghost Rare that I do not own. But it already pops so much more than the newer modern Ghost Rares that you kind of seen so far. But yeah, really cool card. This one's a PSA 8. I think it might be slightly undergraded, but I also, like, you can tell that there are some foil scratches on the holo itself. It's not all on there, some of it's on the case, but you can definitely tell that there are some scratches there for sure. And I'm pretty sure that this card was graded pack fresh because it looks very clean otherwise. So, unfortunate 8, but really cool card. Next up, we have Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. So this one's awesome as well. I really like the way that the claw is also trying to grab at you. I think that was like the easiest animation for them to really embed into Ghost Rares for some reason. But it really looks like the claw is trying to grab at you, and the card itself is obviously shifting left and right. Not so much top down. It's interesting how that works for Ghost Rares. But the colors on this one are really cool as well. And it's a Red Eyes card, so what can you really say? This one is probably a true 7, I would say. Like, there's definitely some scratches on the front and stuff. Actually, no, it might be like slightly undergraded, might get an 8 or 9 on a better day, but it is what it is. PSA 7 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. I did not grade this one myself. I did pick this one up graded, and I picked up the Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend graded as well. All right, next up, we have Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. So this is probably my favorite Ghost Rare from the Arc 5 era, just because I pulled this myself, number one, but I had tried pulling it so many times from booster boxes and from blisters. I actually got pretty lucky, to be honest with you. I think I've opened up maybe 50 odd blisters of this set and then like 2 booster boxes, in all honesty. So I did pull this myself, and I have actually pulled the unlimited version as well in one of my box breaks way back in the day. So that was pretty cool, and I think it went to my friend YuGiOh's, who I can now call my friend, but back then he was a guy that just bought packs for me during box breaks, and it was awesome that it worked out for him that he pulled the Ghost Rare Clearwing Synchro Dragon. But I love this card. Again, I really like Cross Souls as a set. I think it's probably one of the better sets in Arc 5, and I just love the colors on the Ghost Rare and also on the set Arc 5 Cross Souls with the orange and blue. I think it really makes it stand out compared to other Yu-Gi-Oh sets. And yeah, there's a little bit of a story with this one from PSA. So PSA did damage this card. That line was not there when I first graded it, and so they deemed this to be a PSA 9, but I thought it was worthy of a PSA 10 for sure. So I ended up sending this back to PSA and got them to review it, and they essentially said, you know what, you're right, that line was not there prior to us handling your card. And so they ended up giving me a bit of compensation. So the price difference between a PSA 10 and a PSA 9. So I don't remember exactly what they gave me for this one, but I want to say it was like maybe $175. And then I obviously got to keep the PSA 9 as is, because it's still PSA 9 worthy for sure. There's no scratches on the back. There's no whitening or anything because I pulled this pack fresh, like I said. But just that line there, kind of just, I guess, 2 lines right there and there. Kind of unfortunately take away from the fact that this could have been a PSA 10 copy, likely would have been, but it is what it is, and I will keep that in my collection happily anyways. Next up, a card that I did pick up myself as well. I did not grade this one. This is a Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon from the new Challengers. Pretty cool card. You got that lightning going on in the background there. No particular attachment to this one per se, but I'm happy to complete the set of, I mean, not really complete because there's no Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon in Ghost Rare. But this is a pretty cool card too. And PSA 8, I picked this one up from my friend Jackson, who is no longer in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, unfortunately. But back in the day, we were really good buddies. We actually picked up like a lot of different things together and just talked Yu-Gi-Oh a lot. So hope he's doing well. And if you see this video, Jackson, I appreciate you, my friend. And yeah, all the best, man. All right, we are moving into the Zexel era, which is pretty sweet. There's a lot of really cool cards in Zexel, and the first of them is this Mobius the Mega Monarch. I did pick this one up. Actually, no, you know what? I had pulled this one. I have it on as a short. So I had a stack of Legacy of the Valiant packs, and I opened them up one by one, basically, for shorts when shorts first came out for YouTube, to kind of catch up with TikTok and Instagram Reels and everything. And I ended up, in one of the packs, I ended up pulling Mobius the Mega Monarch, and that was the only video from that little mini series that I ended up posting as a short on my channel. And I think I only opened up like 10 packs in total from my little batch of packs, and I ended up pulling this, so I was really happy with it. Unfortunately, this got a PSA 8, but I guess it's slightly justified because there are some horizontal print lines or foil scratches, whatever you want to call them, and then actually, no, maybe these are on the case. Actually, they're probably on the card itself. It's really hard to tell with these, with Ghost Rares in general, but also with cards in PSA graded cases. But this one, yeah, I graded this myself, pulled this myself, so pretty cool card, and the only Monarch I want to say with a Ghost Rare print, so pretty sweet. Yeah, not a whole bunch else to say about this one specifically, so we're gonna move on. All right, we also have a number 107 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. This one is special. I like this card a lot. I think it pops really well, and I really like the 3D effect of it as well. Again, it's more horizontal than vertical in nature, but pretty cool card, and very, very iconic set, obviously, with the Dragon Rulers being introduced in this. So yeah, love this Ghost Rare. Picked this on up raw and then ended up grading it at PSA 8, so happy with that. Probably could have, actually there are some scratches on it. Potentially could have been a 9 on a better day, but we will take the 8. Next up we have a number 92 Heart Earth Dragon. This is one of the first Ghost Rares that I pulled for myself. In general, for Ghost Rares. I did pull a Power Tool Dragon as my first ghost. This was my second or third after Heroic Challenger. But yeah, this one I thought probably had a good shot at getting a PSA 10 because the foiling is absolutely immaculate, even under the case like that. Like these little scratches on the case are literally on the case. Like you can tell that is not on the card. So the foiling is immaculate. I might actually regrade this at some point in time because I don't know, man. I think it's worthy of a PSA 10. But back in the day, there was no grading options available, so I had to pay, I think, $50 to grade this, but I thought it was worth it back then because it was my first ever batch of Ghost Rares that I was grading, and ended up getting a PSA 9 on this one. Pretty sweet card as well. Cosmoblazer is a pretty sick set from YuGiOh's Zexel. Lots of really good cards in it. I think there's a lot of Brotherhood of the Fire Fist cards in there. Can't remember what else, but obviously some number cards. But yeah, awesome card, awesome memories from pulling it. And I have that one. I don't know if I have that one on video actually on my channel, but you guys will have to check that out and fact check me. Next up, a number C32 Shark Drake Vice from Abyss Rising, with Rage of the Abyss coming out recently. This is kind of a cool throwback to the original Shark Drake Vice, the original number C32, because I think there's a new version of this now in that set. And obviously that does not come in Ghost Rare. This one is scratched to insanity. Like, it's really not that great. I picked this one up for really cheap though. I think I paid like 25 or 30 Canadian dollars for it, which is like 20 bucks US. or even less. And it's flawless except for the front, like the foiling. In all honesty, like the card is in really good shape. So I believe the owner when he said he pulled it pack fresh like this, or very close to it, or he might have just slipped it into like a regular playing sleeve instead of like a penny sleeve. But the ghost foiling on this thing is absolutely wrecked, unfortunately. And it's all good though, because I paid really cheap for it, like I said. And I ended up grading it anyways because I just wanted one of these as like a placeholder for my collection. I figured it would get like a 7 at best, realistically. But happy with it. Again, doesn't have any particular meaning to me per se, but nonetheless, it is one of the Zexel Ghost Rares, and I figured I was trying at one point to collect all the Zexel Ghost Rares and all the Arc 5 Ghost Rares. I am missing Stellar Knight Delteros for Arc 5 as well as Malakota, but I think I have everything else from the first 6 sets of Arc 5. From Zexel, I'm definitely missing Divine Dragon Night Felgrand from Shadow Specters and Bujinki Amaterasu from Primal Origin. I'm also missing Star Eater from Judgment of the Light. That's the only other one that I'm missing from Zexel. I have the other 9. So one of them is Heroic Champion Excalibur. This one I pulled myself, and again, extremely happy to own this card. I know it's not that hard a ghost to pull. I think Rexon's pulled it like 4 separate times from either the special editions, which obviously is the unlimited version, or the first ed version of this card, but I still like it because it holds a lot of memories for me, and just the way he is like moving around a little bit with that sword is pretty sweet. Yeah, definitely a very, very, very strong 9. There's no foil scratches or anything, and same with the Hard Earth Dragon. There are some scratches on the case itself, but not on the card. Literally, they are consecutive certs, so you'll be able to go back and check that out if you want. And I have, like, this was my first grading submission for myself, I believe, on the channel that I showcased, because the other ones took way too long, and I used a middleman back in the day, but of course now I'm a middleman. So if you guys want to submit cards, hit me up on Instagram at DLegend_YuGiOh. But anyways, yeah, this card holds a lot of memories for me as well because I pulled it myself, and it was probably the second or third ghost rare that I pulled, so pretty epic, really happy. And they were loose packs, so that was pretty sweet. Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. This is another beautiful card. I know a lot of people don't like Zexel Ghost Rares in general, or just Zexel as a whole, but I still think there's a lot of good quality cards in Zexel, and this is definitely one of them. One of the bigger cards in Zexel. Unfortunate that it is a PSA 8, but I honestly, I'm not mad at it. I don't remember if I picked this one up. Like, I'm pretty sure I picked this one up as a PSA 8, maybe from my good friend, the Panda Duelist. I don't remember, though, off the top of my head. So you guys are going to have to let me know. But, yeah, really cool card. And the Ghost Rare isn't my favorite rarity for this one. I think the Ultimate Rare looks a lot better for this particular card. And for a few of those other Ghost Rares, in all honesty. But this one looks pretty sweet as well. Next up, we have number C39 Utopia Ray. This is the second set in YuGiOh's Zexel, Order of Chaos, and obviously this is what's his face, Yuma's Ace Monster, and or one of his Ace Monsters. I guess he has like a million because he's the main character. Is this the second set or third set? Third set, I think. Actually, sorry. Yeah, third set. Yeah, this one I picked up from Crashdown Collecting, I think, actually, as a PSA 9. Got it for a decent price, or as a trade or something like that. But yeah, very happy to have this one as well. And there are some scratches on the case, unfortunately, as you can kind of see, like just vertical scratches on the case. And then there's a couple light scratches on the card itself, I want to say. But otherwise, a pretty strong 9. So happy with that one as well to have in my collection. This one is another card that was damaged by PSA at one point in time, but look at that beautiful foiling. This one is iconic as a Ghost Rare, I'd say, from Zexel. And I don't know, it just looks so good in all those colors that it really reminds me of, I know it's Galaxy Eyes, but it really reminds me of the Aurora Borealis or the Northern Lights, if you guys have ever been lucky enough to see those. I work in like northern Canada, and like for a lot of my life, really, for the last 3 years at least. But I've been really blessed to be able to see some of the Northern Lights, and they are spectacular. And this card reminds me a lot of that, with all these beautiful, vibrant colors. And yeah, this card was damaged by PSA as well. There's scratches that were not there previously. So I'm pretty sure it just had to do with the card grader taking them out of my card savers really weirdly. But this is unfortunate because I thought this had a chance at a PSA 10. I know it's slightly off-centered. It's like shifted like this way and then down a little bit because the top is slightly thicker than the bottom, and then the right side is definitely slightly thicker than the left side. But I thought it had a chance at a PSA 10 because this is a card that I pulled myself as well. And I think I have this one on camera for sure on my channel, so check that one out. But yeah, I thought I had a shot at PSA 10, and it was very, very clean on the front. So it's unfortunate, but check out those beautiful colors, guys. Like probably my favorite Ghost Rare from the Zexel era, I would say. Yeah, very, very unfortunate PSA 8. But again, they took a look at it and they said they determined that they did damage it, so they did compensate me for it, but it wasn't nearly as much as the Clearwing because they said that it probably would have gotten a 9 instead of an 8 if there weren't those scratches that they caused. So unfortunate there, but I think yeah, maybe $125 as the difference between a PSA 9 and a PSA 8 for this one. But I think they probably could have given this a 10 if the scratches weren't there. So you never know, and that was my first and worst experience with PSA, I'd say. Ever since then, they've damaged a few of my other cards, but nothing to that degree. And thankfully, nothing super, super nostalgic to me, so I'm okay with it. Next up, what do we have? And they've always done right by me by compensating me appropriately in terms of like the value of the card based off market value. So I've been okay with it overall, I'd say. Although I would rather have my cards undamaged, it kind of is what it is. Next up, we are at the beginning of Zexel now. This is number 17 Leviathan Dragon from Generation Force. I actually don't know if I said where this card was from. This is from Photon Shockwave, one of the most expensive Zexel sets to this day because of this beautiful card in Ghost Rare and Ultimate Rare, as well as some other cards that were really meta back in the day, I want to say, like Rescue Rabbit. But anyways, this is from Generation Force, the first set in YuGiOh's Zexel, number 17 Leviathan Dragon. Again, this card has a retrain in Rage of the Abyss, but not quite the same. It's called like it's like a French name. I can't remember. Levier or something like that. I can't remember. But this one looks really good as well, in my opinion. I really like the 3D effect on this and the colors as well. It looks really good in Ghost Rare. And I have actually had the privilege of pulling this in Unlimited for one of my box breaks back in the day from Generation 4 Special Editions. So really sweet card. I think I pulled it from my friend Blue TCG, and he got himself a beautiful Ghost Rare. I don't know if he still has it. I wonder. But yeah, if you're watching this, Blue, definitely hit me up and let me know. Yeah, this one I can't remember. I feel like I might have gotten this one from Crashdown Collecting as well, maybe. Also in a trade at some point in time or whatnot, but very cool card. Big fan of that one. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm taking so long, but I just have so much to say about these cards. And again, it's the Halloween special with all these Ghost Rares, so hope you guys enjoy so far. Junk Berserker from Extreme Victory. This is the last set in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. And this one I picked up raw as well. Graded it, got a PSA 7. It is what it is. Like, I mean, there were scratches on it. I wasn't like, the seller did not tell me that the scratches were there back in the day when I did grade it, or when I did pick this up. But I guess you can call it near mint still. PSA calls it near mint technically, so I guess it is fair. But yeah, pretty cool card. Not super iconic in 5Ds as a whole, I would say, compared to some of the other cover cards, but it's a cover card, it's a Ghost Rare. Had to add it to the collection at some point in time. And again, I think back then I was trying to collect every single cover card in Ghost Rare for 5Ds and for Zexel because they were pretty affordable for the most part, except for like Stardust and Black Rose. But yeah, I kind of stopped that goal, and I'm okay with that. This is just one of the cards that I have in my collection and will probably sit there for a long time because I don't think it's worth selling ever. Maybe one day if this card ever goes up significantly, because it doesn't really mean anything to me, but for the time being, it is just sitting in my personal collection. Next up, we have a Dragon Knight Draco Quist. I pulled this one for myself, actually. from a batch of Duelist Revolution packs that I got from Black Magician 81. I don't know if he still does Yu-Gi-Oh content at all, but he used to have a YouTube channel as well, and he was a good friend of mine back in the day. We did some collaborations and stuff, and I think we did a box break for charity at one point. I think the same batch of packs, maybe potentially, is where I got these from, but or pulled this from. But I don't think that was in the box break. I think that was after the fact or something, or before or something like that. I can't remember if he sent me the packs in 2 separate batches, and then I did a box break with one, and then I just bought the other ones from him. But yeah, back in the day, you could get big lots of like Duelist Revolution packs for like a decent price on eBay. They were unlimited, but yeah, this is where I think he got those from, and it came out scratched like this, unfortunately, from the pack, but I did pull this myself, and I don't know if I have this one on camera. I'm pretty sure I do, but you'll have to check on my channel if you guys are interested in finding out. But yeah, very cool card. The only non-synchro ghoster in 5Ds, and it's of course this card, so pretty sweet. Yeah, I feel like I'm not showing off the just the grayed out look of Ghost Rares enough. I'm just showing off the foiling under the right lighting, but I think it's pretty cool to see Ghost Rares like this as well, by the way. This one is a PSA 8. I thought for some reason it was a 7, but not like when I was grading or anything, but in my head I thought it was a 7. But yeah, the only unlimited Ghost Rare in my collection, I believe. Just because I don't really collect on them normally, but this was a card that I pulled myself, so figured I kind of had to grade it and keep it for my personal collection. Next up, oh, this is actually in the wrong order. Red Dragon Retrieving from Grossman Pass 2, Second Haunting. This one is a Jack Atlas Ghost Rare, but obviously compared to like the older Ghost Rares, this one does nothing. Like, it doesn't move whatsoever. I mean, it's a Ghost Rare. It's still a Ghost Rare at the end of the day. But and I know it. They just needed to complete the set of Ghost Rares for the Standard Dragons by introducing this as a ghost. But it's just not nearly as good as the vintage Ghost Rares from 5Ds, GX, and Zexel. Unfortunate. But yeah, this one's a PSA 9. I probably could have gotten a 10, other than the fact that there are some scuff marks on the back, or waxing, I guess you can call it. But yeah, happy to own this regardless of it being nice or not, I guess, because I just wanted it for my personal collection. I don't remember if I pulled that one or if I picked it up raw. But next up, we have a Blackwing Dragon. This one's also super scratched up on the case. You can tell that they are scratches on the case, not the foiling itself. Really decent looking card, I'd say. Like, I'm not gonna jump at saying this is like the best looking Ghost Rare ever or anything like that. It just, the card itself is just weird to me. Like, what is a Black-Winged Dragon? Is it a raven / crow, or is it a dragon? Like, what are these? Like, tell me if these are claws or talons, or if they're legs. It looks like a centipede in some ways. Like, I just don't know what this is. I don't know how Konami decided to design this, and I know some of you guys Blackwing fans out there are going to roast me for this, but just not a huge fan of this card as a whole. I picked it up for way too much money back during the peak hype of COVID days, thinking I got a decent deal for this on eBay through an auction, but it was, in reality, like 2 years later, this card plummeted in price, and I way overpaid for this. I can't remember how much I paid, but it was definitely way too much. So yeah, just not a fan, not good memories with this card as a whole, but it is what it is, guys. And I think it's just super off-centered is why I got a PSA 8. But probably could get a 9 if I regraded it. I just don't think it's worth regrading right now at this point in time. Maybe down the road at some point in time, but yeah, I don't know. Mixed feelings about that one because of the insane price that I paid for it. It is what it is, though. First Ghost Rare I ever pulled, Power Tool Dragon. So, big fan of this card. This one also has a moving claw. Go figure. But this side and this side both kind of move around a little bit and shift around with just the lighting and the way Ghost Rares are. So I just love this card. I really think it looks great. Very iconic card from the, or monster from the anime series, but really looks great. You can tell that they intentionally designed some of these colors and just obviously made it match with the way it's normally supposed to look, especially in that lighting, where you have like a lot of yellows to feature Power Tool Dragon better. Yeah, big fan of this card. I think it looks good, and it's just off-centered left to right. But this is probably one of the better centered copies, I'd say, of Power Tool Dragon out there in Ghost Rare, and the foiling on this one is immaculate as well. So I thought this would have a shot at a PSA 10, but I wasn't mad when it came back at 9. We'll see. I might regret this at some point in time too. I haven't taken the challenge yet, or the leap of faith to do it, because I don't trust PSA to not damage this in some ways. But we'll see how it goes, and I might just resub this at some point in time. Maybe if there's a cheaper value TCG option or something like that, because it is immaculate. I pulled this myself, like I said, and again, same batch of, well, not the same batch of loose packs, but from a batch of loose packs that I also got alongside the Cosmo Blazer and the Return of Duelist. But the crazy thing is that I only had 22 packs of this set, or 20 packs, I can't remember. But it was less than a booster box, and we ended up pulling this beautiful thing, and I ended up pulling a Light End Dragon as well in Secret Rare, so really sweet memories from this one. And again, my first ever Ghost Rare pull, so it means the world to me. I don't think I'll ever let go of this. I think this card was up to like $1,300 US during peak COVID times, which is absolutely nuts, because this thing sells for like $400 or $450 these days, maybe even less than that, in 2024. So at the time of recording this video, so pretty crazy to see that price decrease, but it is what it is. I'm not going to sell that card ever. So next up, we have a Japanese Stardust Dragon, because I cannot afford, or don't want to spend the money on, the English version in first edition, which is probably the only copy I'd actually want of this card other than this one. I think this thing looks spectacular though in Japanese in the OCG. The foiling is immaculate on this copy. That's just a scratch on the case, unfortunately, but I'm not going to get this recased because that is a waste of money in my opinion, unless it's like really, really bad. But I really like this card. I think it looks fantastic, especially in like that lighting where it's like partial grayed out, partial lighting, partially like lit up, if that makes sense. But looks fantastic to me. Big fan of Stardust. Just cannot bring myself to pull the trigger on a first ed ghost copy in anything above a PSA 8, which is kind of what I would be comfortable with actually keeping in my personal collection. So this will have to do, and I'd say this is very, very worth it. I do need the Black Rose Dragon at some point in time to go alongside this, because I have the Ghost Rare and the Ultimate Rare Stardust in PSA 9, and then I have the Ghost Rare, or the Ultimate Rare Black Rose in PSA 10, but I don't have the Ghost Rare yet, so I'm gonna have to look for that next time I'm in Japan, or maybe on Mercari at some point. So we'll see. But yeah, this is a beautiful Ghost Rare. I think there's just one tiny issue with this. I think it's just the corner here, and that is probably what prevented it from getting a 10. So unfortunate, but beautiful card regardless. We're almost at the end, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, like I said, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all for your support over the last little while. I know I've been posting a bit more regularly. Life has just been starting to slow down a bit in terms of like work and everything else, and school. So I have some time on my hands now, so we're gonna keep making videos. But yeah, Elements Hero Chaos Neos. This is my last, second last, I guess, Ghost Rare. And this is a card that I got in a trade. I traded like, I think 20 or 24 packs of Rise of Destiny for this, and pretty happy with it. Like, I mean, it's not the greatest copy of this card because it's pretty, I think it's just off-centered, honestly. And then the back is super, super off-centered, and I'll show you guys in a sec here. But another beautiful looking Ghost Rare, one of the first Ghost Rares in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! In the English version at least. I guess in general, because Rainbow Dragon was the first, but then this came right after that, and then Rainbow Neos, and then Honest. So yeah, for the second ever Ghost Rare to exist, I think it's worth having, and it's obviously an Elemental Hero, so I needed to pick it up for my personal collection. But yeah, super off-centered on the back, as you can tell, and this is one of the times that centering will actually matter to PSA, for the back at least, is when it's this off-centered. I'm not sure how they messed that up at the printing factories, but yeah, otherwise I think it has a chance at a PSA 10 because the foiling is pretty solid. But yeah, very nice to have in my personal collection, and I got it for a pretty solid trade in my opinion, so definitely one on that one. And the last card, guys, finally. Thank you guys if you made it this far, let me know. And yeah, this is a Chaos Neos in Japanese OCG. you can tell I've done a video on this in the past where the foiling just looks different, but this just does not look the same as the TCG version. This one doesn't really like have much of a 3D effect, if that makes sense. I mean, it does, but more so for the background than the actual like monster itself, if that makes sense. Like, I really like that. I think it makes the card pop out even more. But yeah, you can tell like that is a beautiful shot. It looks like an X-ray to me, but yeah, very, very different foiling compared to the TCG version, where I guess that's also the background that pops out a bit more, like the rays of light behind it or whatever it is. But very cool cards, very unique, and again, happy to own both. I've been trying to sell this copy for a while now just because I feel like I don't need both, the English and the Japanese version. So if you guys are interested in this copy, hit me up. I think it's a pretty solid copy other than that little scratch right there. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful card. I picked this one up from Versa Collectibles Raw and ended up grading it a PSA 9 because I just like grading things for my personal collection and in general. So yeah, this one is potentially up for sale. If you guys hit me up on Instagram, you can shoot me an offer. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I know it was a longer one. I hope you enjoyed it though. Halloween special for 2024 featuring all my ghost rares. I don't think I've done a video like this in the past where I've showcased all my ghost rares. So figured it would be a good time to do it, and figured that I have a lot more of stuff to show you guys at some point in time in my collection. So figured we'd start with this and move on from there. I know I did my hero collection for my PSA graded slabs, but I haven't done the rest of my PSA collection or anything like that, even remotely. So I'm gonna have to do that at some point in time. I have a lot more slabs to show you guys, and I haven't been able to post them all on Instagram or anything like that either. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Happy Halloween, enjoy your days, and I will catch you all next time. Peace.